It's Week 10, the NFL on CBS, and we come to you live from Foxborough, Gillette Stadium. Today, the Buffalo Bills matched up with the New England Patriots. And all the action is being broadcast in Spanish where available using the SAP button on your television. Opening kickoff is coming up. The Bills and Patriots, AFC East, when we come back. Weather here in Foxborough, 56 degrees, expected to hit the low 60s as we get into the meat of this game. Great day for football. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, the rest of our CBS crew. The Buffalo Bills at 3-5. The New England Patriots are 5-3. Buffalo coming off a 21-9 loss in Houston last week. They trailed the Texans 7-6 at halftime, and then Houston controlled the second half. Chan Gailey, now in his third year as the head coach of the Buffalo Bills, his message to the team against New England: finish. He said the Bills beat the Patriots 2 games ago. They had a 21-point lead and blew it. Last meeting, they led by 14 and allowed New England to come back to win. Bill Belichick, head coach of the New England Patriots, now in his 13th year. And the Pats are 9-3 after the bye under Belichick. Before last season, they had won 8 straight games following their bye week. Last time they played was Week 8, and they destroyed St. Louis in London 45-7.
And because this is a divisional game, a win today by Buffalo would put them just 1 game behind the Patriots. That's how big it is for Buffalo.
New England won the toss. They deferred to the second half. We're underway at Gillette Stadium. Gostowski kicks it off, and it'll be a touchback for Buffalo. Ryan Fitzpatrick attended college not far from here at Harvard, and he leads the Bills offense onto the field.
And he likes his chances throwing against this porous pass defense of the Patriots, especially throwing deep, and especially getting the ball to Donald Jones today. Look for the Bills to use play-action passes on 1st and 2nd down to get Jones free in the secondary.
New England Patriots come in 28th against the pass, allowing 281 yards per game. A 3-receiver set with Johnson, Jones, and Grand to open up. First down for Buffalo at the 20-yard line. Jackson in the backfield. Fake the handoff. Fitzpatrick steps up. Fitzpatrick runs and slides just across the 25-yard line. They'll mark it just short of the 26. 6-yard gain. Take a look at the offensive line for Buffalo. Eric Piers has been put on injured reserve, so it's Chris Hairston's job, second-year pro out of Clemson, on the right side of that offensive line. Backs and receivers, C.J. Spiller and Fred Jackson, the 1-2 punch, but Stevie Johnson is very capable, and he and Fitzpatrick have developed that chemistry. It started back when they were both on the scout team, just trying to make a name for themselves in the league. Handoff. Jackson up the middle for 5 yards. And that's across the 30 and a first down. Defensively for the New England Patriots, the versatile Rob Ninkovich continues to make plays week in and week out for Bill Belichick's squad. Linebackers, Hightower, Spikes, and Mayo. That's an impressive group on the second level of that defense. And in the secondary, it is McCourty playing safety. No Patrick Chung once again. Chung sitting this one out with a shoulder injury. Brad Smith is in the backfield, but it is Fitzpatrick. On a give, Jackson looking for a hole and not much there. Brandon Spikes first man to greet him. It's a 2-yard gain.
Patriots have been excellent against the rush so far this season. Just giving up 88 yards per game on the ground. That's 4th best in the NFL. But Buffalo coming out with 3 straight runs, although the first play was a Fitzpatrick scramble. And that's really the hidden dimension in this offense, is his ability to get out of the pocket quickly and pick up yardage as he did on the first play.
Have to go back to 2000, the last time Buffalo has won in Foxborough. Divisional games have been a big struggle for the Buffalo Bills of late. They've allowed 149 points last 3 games in the AFC East. Fitzpatrick fires to Stevie Johnson, and Johnson with a clean catch out across the 40-yard line, just short of a first down. Alfonso Dennard, the rookie out of Nebraska, back in coverage.
A real good, sharp hook route by Johnson, but a little bit shy of what the yardage he needed to pick up the first down. He came up about a half a yard shy. We'll see if that hurts the Bills here on this first third down conversion try.
Johnson told us in the first meeting New England was doubling him a lot, and they always seem to give you a different look in the second half. Flags come down.
Looked like Lee Smith jumped off sides, the tight end on the near side of the line.
Number 85 offense, 5-yard penalty, third down.
And that's how critical that Stevie Johnson, not getting the first down on the previous play. A third down and short. Watch Lee Smith here. He'll jump early as you see Wilfork jumping inside, not offsides. He moved laterally, and that drew the attention of Smith, who jumped offsides.
The referee today is Bill Levy and his crew. It turns a 3rd and 1 into a 3rd and 6. 4 receiver set. Johnson the motion man. Play clock down to 1. Fitzpatrick out of the gun. Pumps. Dump off. Jackson makes a cut, and he's got a first down. 13-yard pickup and a penalty marker thrown back at the 26-yard line. This one's coming back.
Holding, number 77 offense, 10-yard penalty, third down.
And that's the rookie out of Georgia, Cordy Glenn, starting at left tackle.
And going up against another rookie, Chandler Jones. We talked about the 6 sacks that he has. Watch it on the pass rush. And watch how Cordy Glenn is going to reach out, grab him, and hold him, and pull him right down in front, or almost down, right in front of the officials.
So back it up to a 3rd and 16 now. 5 receiver set and a dime package for New England.
And that penalty wiped out a first down. And now another penalty. Greg Urbick jumping off sides.
False start. Number 60 offense, 5-yard penalty, third down.
Jermaine Cunningham was coming on the rush. Urbick on that right side. 3rd round pick back in 2009 of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the offensive line having some trouble on this first series. 3rd penalty against Buffalo.
And they're back to where they started at the 20-yard line on this drive.
3rd and 21. They'll go conservative with Jackson. And Jackson bottled up short of the 30-yard line. Buffalo will punt. Dante Hightower will get credit for the stop for New England. A 9-yard gain for Jackson.
Yeah, very promising series of plays for the Bills. So they self-destruct with 2 offsides penalties and a holding penalty. They had the ball near midfield before they decided to go backwards.
Sean Powell will punt it for Buffalo. And Julian Edelman is the deep man for New England in his 4th year out of Kent State, averaging 8.8 yards per return. Powell with a high kick. Edelman stays put, brings it in cleanly at the 21. And Edelman driven backwards as he crossed the 25-yard line, a 50-yard punt. Tom Brady, 19-2 in his career against Buffalo. We'll see the Patriots offense when we come back. Well, we asked Ryan Fitzpatrick about the AFC East right now. He said, look, a win would be a huge boost for morale, and of course it is a divisional matchup. Buffalo, a team that had very high expectations coming into the year. They're 3-5. First play from scrimmage for New England, and it's Stephen Ridley with the juke move, picking up 3.5 yards. Mario Williams with the stop, and Tom Brady, his numbers just off the charts once again.
Yeah, when I asked him yesterday what he still needs to improve on, he said, he paused actually for a few seconds and gave the pat answer about working on his mechanics. But he did admit that he feels like he's on top of his game, and I couldn't agree more.
Brian Scott is out there defensively along with Justin Rogers. Knocked up in the air! Almost intercepted by Scott. Scott, who's been a hybrid safety linebacker throughout his career with Atlanta, New Orleans, and Buffalo, and that would have been huge for Buffalo in this first quarter.
Well, he's proven why he's playing defense, because he can't catch. Ball tipped up in the air, and Scott will never have an easier shot at an interception. Marcel Darius gets his hand on it, and then Scott lets it go through his hands.
So instead of Buffalo having the football, New England's got a chance to convert on a 3rd and 6. Brady in the pocket, fires in traffic. It's caught by Welker, short of the 40-yard line, but it is enough for a first down.
Of course it's enough for a first down. That's all Welker does, it seems, is catch third down passes over the middle. And again, the Patriots avoid a 3-and-out. Best team in the league at doing just that.
Well, New England's going to move with a lot of speed and pace on offense. That's what they do. Ridley, running lane for Ridley, and he's caught from behind, short of the 50-yard line. It's a 10-yard gain. Their starting offense: Solder, Menkins, Wendell, Connolly, and Vollmer. And the backs and receivers, just talented group that Tom Brady is capable of elevating their game. Well, didn't give him the 10 yards. They gave him 9, marked him down short of the 50-yard line, so a 2nd and 1. But he's going to get it right here. Ridley again. Defensively for Buffalo, big challenge today against this #1 ranked offense. Moore is getting the start. Mark Anderson is out, and Chris Kelsey is out for Buffalo. Barnett, Shepard, and Bradham, the linebackers. And secondary, a tall order today against Brady. Underneath, Brandon Lloyd. First down across the 40-yard line.
Lloyd only had 3 catches in their first meeting, and working against the rookie Stephen Gilmore. Gilmore did a good job on him in that first game, but this was a good slant route by Lloyd. He got inside the corner, and Brady was right on target.
Brady working out of the gun. New set of downs to work with in Buffalo territory. Brady again underneath. Deion Branch this time spins for 5. Justin Rogers there defensively for Buffalo.
You would think as you handicap this game with all the yards the Bills have given up that Brady would have a big day. He's going against the 31st ranked defense in the NFL.
And 31st scoring defense, allowing 31 points per game. Second and 5. Brady calling out the signals for the Pats. Brady throws in stride, and a rare drop by Welker. Would have been a touchdown for Welker and the Patriots.
Well, we know what Dancer is. That's the slant route down the field to Welker. I wonder if the sun bothered him on this one. You can see the shadows kind of line up with the sun. Ball went right through his hands, and Welker can't believe it, and this crowd can't believe it.
This season, Wes Welker, 61 catches, 743 yards. Just prolific numbers for Welker. 4-time Pro Bowler. So a 3rd and 5 now for the Pats. Brady. Good hands working along the sideline, and it's the veteran Deion Branch in a matchup with Leotis McKelvin. McKelvin getting the start. Terrence McGee has been placed on IR. Aaron Williams is out with a knee injury that he suffered against Houston.
Well, for Deion Branch, that's 7 catches this season, 2 on this drive.
Now inside the 30-yard line. Gronkowski has not been a factor yet. Handoff. Ridley zigzags and picks up 3 yards in the process.
Well, Gronkowski hasn't been a factor yet because they haven't got to the red zone. He's got 7 receptions, touchdown receptions from Tom Brady. You see just how good the Patriots are of controlling the tempo, controlling time of possession.
Gronkowski's on pace for an 86 catch, 1,160-yard, 14-touchdown season. Trying to bang it inside. Ridley, second effort, actually moved backwards, trying to circle to the outside and held to no gain as Darius, the number 3 pick in the 2011 draft, makes the play.
That's the second big play by Marcel Darius in this first quarter. Tipped the pass on 2nd down that should have been intercepted. That time he stops Ridley.
12th play of the drive, opening drive for New England. 3rd and 7 now for the Patriots. We come up on 6 minutes to play in this first quarter. Operating from the gun. Rush is coming. Brady steps and throws. Intercepted, and then he lost the ball. McKelvin had it on his hands. Deion Branch fought for it. Off the deflection. And New England's field goal unit will come on.
Yeah, this ball thrown right on target to Branch. Went right through his hands, but Branch didn't give up on it. did a good job of getting back and stripping it from McKelvin. But 2 potential interceptions on this opening drive. And Tom Brady said that in the past when he's thrown the ball errantly to the Bills, they always catch him. Not so today.
43-yard attempt for Steven Gostkowski. And he knocks it through to get New England on the board first. 6:04 mark. Opening quarter in Foxborough. It's 3-0. Pats. Foxborough War Memorial, Veterans Day, and that'll be a theme throughout the broadcast today. The Patriots and the Bills here on CBS. 13 plays, 48 yards. Gostkowski with a 43-yard field goal. Tom Brady on that drive, 4 of 7, 29 yards, but almost had it picked off twice. Gostkowski kicks it off. McKelvin and Smith, the deep men. And it's coming back to the 20 once again for the Bills. 3-0 lead for the Patriots. 6:04 left. Opening quarter. This Veterans Day weekend, there are salute to service recognitions throughout the NFL. Here in Foxborough, the Kraft family was joined by veterans and active soldiers from every branch of the military in displaying a huge American flag, the C-5 flyover during the national anthem. And on Friday, the Patriots dedicated a seat which will be permanently vacant here at Gillette Stadium in recognition of our soldiers who are prisoners of war or missing in action. Patriots and the Bills, 3-0 New England, 6:04 to go in this first quarter. Buffalo with the football, a 1st and 10 at its own 20-yard line. C.J. Spiller coming back the other way. Explosive abilities when he gets to the open field, but the Patriots able to set the edge, and Spiller tried to loop around Ninkovich. He is so tough to fool, Rob Ninkovich. It's a 3-yard gain for Spiller.
Well, Fred Jackson got all the carries in the first series, but when you're averaging 7.2 per carry, you know you've got a home run hitter there. And even his quarterback, Ryan Fitzpatrick, says, yeah, you hold your breath when you hand the ball off to him. You're going to see something unexpected and good.
We asked Chan Cayley about Spiller and if they're going to get him more involved. He said, look, you can't revolve everything around one guy, but the team does want to get him more touches. 2nd and 7. Fitzpatrick looked in that direction and is sacked. Ball was on the ground. Patriots recover. Jermaine Cunningham. Ryan Fitzpatrick coughs it up. Wilfork was collapsing the pocket on Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, Wilfork gets credit for the sack and the forced fumble, and Cunningham scoops it up with his left hand. Great field position for the Patriots now. Fitzpatrick wanted to swing that ball out to the outside there to Spiller, but both Gerard Mayo and Chandler Jones were going with the swing route there. That caused Fitzpatrick to look elsewhere. By that time, it was too late as Wilfork gets his first sack of the season.
And New England has the football at the 13-yard line of Buffalo. Already with a 3-0 lead. Brady from the gun. Little pitch for Ridley. Ridley hit from the side and actually gains more yards thanks to Alex Carrington.
Let's go back to the fumble. Here's Spiller on the swing route. Here's Gerard Mayo, and here is Chandler Jones. Watch the two of them go after Spiller, and that's exactly where Fitzpatrick wanted to throw this ball, is because the coverage down the field was there for the Patriots.
2nd and 5 now for New England. Just under 5 minutes to go in the first. Ridley remains in the backfield. Brady looks, throws, incomplete and flagged down. Gronkowski was double covered. George Wilson and Brian Scott over there.
Pass interference. Number 37 defense in the end zone. Ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. First down.
Well, this ball was not even catchable. This is a bad call by the officials. A little bit of contact with George Wilson and Gronkowski. But when you see this ball come down, it's about 10 yards to the outside, nowhere near the receiver nor the defender. That's a horrible call.
And it sets up New England 1st and goal at the 1. Brady on a give. Ridley stacked up. He got thrown down. Well played by Nick Barnett, the veteran linebacker.
Yeah, Nick Barnett playing inside on this goal line defense. Did a good job of scraping and getting to Ridley before he could turn up, but it was the penetration on the left side there. Mario Williams did a good job and causes the 2-yard loss.
Should mention Aaron Hernandez is inactive because of that ankle sprain. Continues to be an issue. Did not make the trip to London. They were hoping the bye week was going to benefit him. They have activated Asante Shenko, the veteran tight end. Brady pumps. Incomplete, and another flag. Lloyd in a matchup with Gilmore. Play was whistled dead. Kyle Moore was
Pass
hoping to.
interference. Number 27 defense in the end zone. Ball will be placed at the 1. Automatic first down.
And that'll be the number 10 overall pick, Stephon Gilmore from South Carolina.
Yeah, pretty easy call right there. Ball in the air, hands on the receiver by Gilmore. And it'll first and goal at the 1 again.
Brady on a give. Touchdown, Ridley steamrolls in for the score.
Yeah, that'll make Vince Wilfork happy, forcing the fumble that was recovered by Cunningham. Right side of that line. Look at the job that Branch does there. Everybody doing their job on that right side. Fulmer with a key block, and Ridley gets in easily.
So Stephen Ridley, his 6th rushing touchdown of the season. Extra point coming from Gostowski. And the Patriots take advantage of the turnover. They force the fumble on Fitzpatrick. They turn it into 7 points. New England with a 10-0 lead on Buffalo in the first. Last meeting between these two teams, week 4. And it was Buffalo who took the early lead, a 21-7 advantage over New England, only to see the Patriots come back to win it 52-28. Patriots had 580 yards in that game. As Gostowski kicks it off, McKelvin and Smith deep. And this will once again be a touchback. Gostowski is 3 out of 3 on kickoffs going back to the 20. To get the latest news and analysis from CBS Sports experts, watch Pro Football 360 live weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern or on demand at cbssports.com/profootball360. So Fitzpatrick, after the turnover, back on the field. He's only attempted 1 pass. Bunch of penalties on that first drive. Fred Jackson was the featured back on the first possession. Then it was C.J. Spiller. Now it's Jackson back again. Jackson's got some room. And Jackson with a cut upfield, but a penalty marker down. New England pointing in Buffalo's direction.
Holding. Number 70. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Yeah, he's blocking against, that's Eric Wood, the center, blocking against Vince Wilfork. And you can watch the two of them battle here. Yeah, it's kind of a iffy call at best, but that's the way it's been going in this first quarter for the Bills. Penalties and questionable calls. 4th penalty against the Bills.
1st and 20 now for Buffalo. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick, rush coming. Hit as he throws, it's incomplete. And they're getting pressure on Ryan Fitzpatrick. Justin Francis, another New England rookie on defense out of Rutgers.
Now here he is lined up as a defensive end. Gets right by the rookie Cordy Glenn. And he just drills the quarterback. Patriots came into the game with 17 sacks. They have 1 today by Wilfork. A near one that time by the rookie Francis.
Buffalo has now allowed 82 points off of turnovers. That's the 2nd most in the NFL. Play clock down to 1. Fake the running play. Fitzpatrick pats the ball. Out of the pocket, Fitzpatrick throws a dart. Lee Smith with the catch. Just his second catch of the season. Brandon Spikes with the stop. And our Fouts focus, that man, Vince Wilfork, and all the attention that he gets.
Yeah, he's been to the Pro Bowl, he's a team captain, but it's never been about accolades for the former #1 pick. Watch how unselfish he is as he takes on the double team to allow his teammates to have one-on-one blocks to rush and sack Peyton Manning. Wilfork continues to be one of the league's most dominant defensive tackles, and we've seen him in action already today, making big plays.
And he told us about the versatility of this defense, moving guys around, switching defensive ends, moving linebackers, makes it so tough on the opponent. They don't know what they're looking at. Jackson, Fred Jackson, very close, and that spot might be enough for a first down.
Yeah, they're going to give it to him because this official right here is standing right on the 30-yard line, and that's what they needed. This was a screen pass to Jackson, but it's the effort at the end of it. He's at the 25-yard line there when he first makes contact with two Patriots. He looks over and he sees he's got just enough for the first down. A huge play for the Bills, obviously, here in the first quarter.
Mayo and Wilson trying to bring him down before he hit that yard line. 15 yards on the catch and run. Loose headed down for Buffalo. C.J. Spiller, the cut. Spiller dances to the outside. 7-yard gain for Spiller as he faked out Dennard. Let's head to New York. NFL Today update. JB, Dan Marino.
Cam Newton and Mike Tolbert sets up this play.
And Cam Newton, little play action pass. Rolls to his right a little bit, and Greg Olsen in the flat. 4-yard touchdown. Carolina up 7-0.
You know what? Dan Fouts is probably replaying that kind of play in his mind, right?
They make it look too easy.
No question about it. Iron Eagle, Dan Fouts.
And guys, you wonder with Carolina, there's a lot of talent on that team. If they could get on a roll and get it going after the struggles to start the season and the criticism that Cam Newton was getting. Jackson right up the middle. Jackson capable of breaking tackles, tough inside runner, 4-yard gain as Gerard Mayo brought him down.
And Fred Jackson off to a real good start in this game. 4 carries now for 20 yards, and of course that 15-yard pass reception that got the Bills out of a hole and picked up the first down.
Yeah, we asked C.J. Spiller about splitting time with Jackson, and he said Coach Gailey talked about the running back situation before the season. This wasn't a surprise. We both understood and knew the deal. On first down, Brad Smith shifts out of the backfield, will now set up on the outside. Jackson fake the handoff to him. Fitzpatrick has time. Looks, throws. Good pass to Donald Jones, and a first down into New England territory. Short of the 35. It covers 22 yards on the hookup, working against Alfonso Dennard, the rookie out of Nebraska.
And Fitzpatrick told us that he liked Jones' chances with the play-action passing game. He gets inside Dennard and all the way across the field. The play-action gave Fitzpatrick the time to throw, and Jones converted on the other end for 22 yards.
Had that long touchdown catch against New England in the first meeting. It's the end of one, 10-0, Patriots in front. This is the NFL on CBS.
Monday Night Football live on ESPN America. Week 10 takes us to the Steel City, where Big Ben will be looking to get the Pittsburgh offense ticking. The Chiefs will have to be tough to protect their castle, but they're not in Kansas anymore. Will the KC fans have something to cheer, or will the mettle of the Steelers prove too much? Chiefs at Steelers. It all starts tonight at midnight 30 CET with Monday Night Countdown. Monday Night Football live on ESPN America, home of the NFL.
Through the hands of a Redskin and intercepted by the Patriots.
One remarkable catch.
Head over heels in the end zone. The thunderous blasting of the Denver Broncos. The AFC Championship is on the line. 27-yard field goal attempt. Set to go. He hooked it. No good. No good. He missed it. That's all she wrote. The Patriots are AFC champions once again.
This November on ESPN America, it's an action-packed fall, and we've got it all. The college football season is in full swing. See all the best of the action right here. And we stay on campus as the future stars of the NBA get ready to tip off in college hoops. And it's that time of year again as NFL Thanksgiving football returns.
Oh, what a day! Look at that!
The brightest stars, the biggest games, all this month, live on ESPN America.
Start of the second quarter, New England leading Buffalo 10-0. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, and the rest of our broadcast crew. Bob Monsbach, our producer, Suzanne Smith, director. Also our broadcast associate, Steve Murphy, here on Veterans Day. Want to have a shout out to Murph, who served in the Air Force for our country proudly. 4 receivers set at the 36-yard line. First play of the second quarter. Jackson trying to keep the legs churning, and a flag comes down late in the play. Vince Wilfork, first man there, and then got some help from his Patriot teammates. It's a 2-yard gain.
And Cordy Glenn is slow to get up. And that pile fell right on top of him as he was on the ground trying to get up.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And that's going to help the Buffalo Bills, the first penalty against the New England Patriots today.
Watch Glenn 77 on the ground here. And now after the running back Jackson is stopped, there's the face mask penalty. Whole pile gets thrown down on Glenn.
So Buffalo with a first down in the red zone, just inside the 20. Trailing 10-0. Fitzpatrick steps, throws, Jackson with a catch. And Jackson brought down by Brandon Spikes, the third-year linebacker from Florida. 4-yard pickup for Jackson.
Really good tackle, too, in the open field by Brandon Spikes. If he doesn't make this tackle down around the ankles of Fred Jackson, Jackson's going to get a big gain out of this and maybe get to the end zone.
So here's where Buffalo will mix and match. Jackson comes to the sideline. C.J. Spiller enters.
And Buffalo struggled last week against Houston in the red zone.
They had 3 red zone opportunities, 2 field goals, and a missed field goal in that 21-9 loss. Spiller gets a touch. C.J. Spiller lowers the helmet, and Mayo and McCourty there to bring him down. A 4-yard pickup for the Buffalo running back.
And you see what the skills of Spiller there. He bounced it to the outside, and when he realized he couldn't go any further to the outside to try to outrun people, he lowered his head on 2 tacklers and drove them backwards and brought up a very manageable third down now for Fitzpatrick. A lot of options for this offense on 3rd and short.
Also rotating tight end, Scott Chandler in there, Lee Smith to the sideline. 3rd and 2 for Buffalo. Running play, Spiller. C.J. Spiller with a penalty marker down. Jermaine Cunningham, and then a crowd.
Yeah, they're going to get Chris Hairston right tackle. Going to get him for holding.
Holding, number 75 offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
He's working against Jermaine Cunningham, and another penalty. Here is Hairston. And watch as Cunningham comes out into him. He's going to reach out and just tackle him as Cunningham is trying to make the tackle on Spiller. Another penalty sets the Bills back.
Well, Hairston getting opportunities because of injuries. Right now, he's known as a better pass protector than a run blocker. And that's the 7th penalty against the Buffalo Bills. 3rd and 12 now, just outside the 20. Fitzpatrick with a deep drop, feeling the pressure. Fitzpatrick brought down. Ninkovich. And another sack for this New England defense.
Yeah, both defensive ends did the job here. Chandler Jones forced Fitzpatrick up into the pocket. Here is Jones out here, and here is Ninkovich. Watch as they converge here on the quarterback. A lot of time to throw initially, but that move there by Jones forced Fitzpatrick up where Ninkovich was there to clean it up.
5th sack of the season for Rob Ninkovich. 41-yard attempt for Lindell. And he's got it. 10-3, New England leading Buffalo. 12:07 to play. First half, back to Foxborough after this. Buffalo put together an 11-play, 57-yard drive. It took 6:47. They settled for the 41-yard field goal for Lindell. Fitzpatrick 4 of 5 on that drive. And Buffalo now trails 10-3.
And on that drive, on that third down, didn't force the ball into the end zone where it could have been picked off. Field goal was huge for Buffalo.
Lindell kicking it off. And this is returnable for McCourty. Devin McCourty driven backwards as he hit the 15-yard line. They'll give him forward progress beyond that. Veterans Day as we celebrate and honor those serving our country in the military. NFL Sunday here in New England. In honor of Veterans Day, for every point scored during the NFL's 32 Salute to Service games, the league will donate $100 to each of its nonprofit partners, the Pat Tillman Foundation, USO, and Wounded Warrior Project. To join the salute and learn more, visit NFL.com/salute. Shane Vereen is in. Brady to throw. Tried to squeeze it on that slant route, but could not get it to Branch. Incomplete. Stephon Gilmore certainly got the attention of the New England receivers in preparing for this game.
Well, Brandon Lloyd said for a rookie, he's very, very good. He had a good game in the first time out there. But I'm a little bit surprised at how many times that Brady in this first half has targeted Deion Branch. Branch only had 5 catches coming into today's game. That's the 3rd time that Brady's thrown in his direction.
Dan, they just huddled on offense.
Well, yeah, stop the presses.
2nd and 10 for the Patriots. Shotgun. Brady. Perfect pass to Welker. First down, New England across the 35-yard line. That covers 19 yards.
Well, maybe that's why they huddled. Welker wanted to tell the quarterback, don't forget about me. I'll catch everything you throw, although he did drop one in that first quarter that was a potential touchdown.
Second catch for Wes Welker, 26 yards, and a first down for New England. They handle the rush. Brady, soft toss to Gronkowski. The touch pass from Brady to the tight end. 24 yards on the pass play.
Well, he had to get the ball over the head of Nick Barnett. Watch Barnett drop back here, and there goes the soft toss. Just a beautiful throw by the future Hall of Famer.
6 of 10 now. Brady, 72 yards. Pumped by Brady on the move, and he hits Welker in stride. Angles out of bounds for a gain of 7.
Brady, not the most mobile quarterback, but as all great ones do, the pocket passer that he is, knows his pocket, knows where the escape routes are, and feels the pressure.
And also knows his players, Dan. Tom talked about the worst thing you can do with the receiver is give him too many things to think about. All those option routes. Handoff, a blast. Vereen just got shellacked, a loss of 4. As Denoris Searcy, the second-year safety from North Carolina, laid the blow.
Yeah, Dave Wanstead, defensive coordinator, brings the safety blitz that time, and Vereen pays the price. Big hit by Norris. Denoris Searcy.
3rd and 7 now for the Pats. Danny Woodhead is in. Motion man is Branch. 10 minutes to play in this first half. Brady looks. And he hits Woodhead. First down, Woodhead gets extra yards as he's built low to the ground and turns it into a 15-yard gain.
Yeah, a little option route for Woodhead out of the backfield, working on a linebacker. Here he is here. Watch Barnett. As the rush comes from Kyle Moore, 54. Just a little slant route. First down.
Another dump off. Woodhead the acceleration. And he takes it to the 15-yard line. New England moving the football again. Chased down by Marcel Darius. And another 7-yard gain. New set of downs for the Patriots to work with.
And once the Patriots get momentum, they go right to the line of scrimmage. Try to keep the Bills from substituting.
2nd and 3. Woodhead busting to the clear. Touchdown, Patriots. The left side of that New England line creating space. Logan Mankins. And Woodhead did the rest.
Great job on the left side of the line for the Patriots. Talked about Mankin's shoulder also with a key block here. Watch as these two work, and this huge hole for Woodhead as he goes in untouched for the touchdown.
Second rushing touchdown of the season for Danny Woodhead. They can come at you from so many angles. Extra point, Kostowski. Danny Woodhead getting in on the act. Woodhead untouched for the score. Impressive drive for New England, and that's a beautiful drive along the New England countryside. Patriots up 17-3 over Buffalo. Danny Woodhead with a touchdown. New England now with 134 total yards of offense. Kostowski kicks it off. And he's 4-4 on kickoffs. Another touchback. Buffalo will have it at the 20, but now they're in a 14-point hole against the division leaders. New England Patriots have posted 20 straight home wins against AFC opponents. That is absolutely incredible. The consistency here at home for the Pats. They've got a 17-3 lead on Buffalo, 1st and 10 at the 20. Set it up for Spiller and picks up a yard and a half. Steve Gregory back in action. Gregory returns after missing the previous 4 games with a hip injury, but no Patrick Chung today, out with a shoulder injury. We'll call it 2nd and 8 for the Bills. Down to 8:37 to go in this first half. Handoff. Spiller. First down run for C.J. Spiller. 12-yard gain for Buffalo.
Spiller is so good, whether it's either on a draw play or a screen pass. Watch as he takes his handoff in open space like this. Good blocks out in front. Tight end Scott Chandler, right guard Craig Urbick, and Spiller picks up a 12-yard gain.
Spiller, a high school track star, won state titles in Florida in the 100, ran 10.35, 200, 21.20. Fitzpatrick, he's got Chandler, the tight end, for a big gain into New England territory. A strike from Ryan Fitzpatrick, 23 yards on the bullet. Devin McCourty, the tackle.
Yeah, he's very similar to Rob Gronkowski is Scott Chandler. 6'7", 263 pounds, big target obviously over the middle. Had a costly drop last week against Houston, but that time puts the ball in New England territory with that catch.
And that's really where things turned last week. Opening drive of the second half. Chandler had a drop, and then Houston took advantage once Buffalo went 3 and out. Fitzpatrick again feeding it to Chandler. First down, just short of the 25, working against Dante Hightower, the rookie linebacker from Alabama.
Yeah, and taking advantage of the rookie. Here he is right here. Here's Hightower. Watch the route here as he goes to the outside, then bends back inside, and actually Hightower helped him on the route by pushing him, then basically losing his balance as the ball was on its way to Chandler, who had an easy reception.
We asked Belichick about Fitzpatrick, and he said they rely on him a lot for pre-snap reads. He's very smart, doesn't hold the ball long, and doesn't take a lot of sacks. 7 straight completions and a timeout called by Buffalo. Well, in recent years, we know things can change in a hurry when these two teams play. Last 3 matchups, Buffalo Bills led 21-0, lost the game 49-21. How about New England? They led 21-0. They lost 34-31. And we told you about the matchup earlier this year, a 21-7 lead for Buffalo. New England came back. And a dig for C.J. Spiller. Boy, he is lightning fast. Cordy Glenn with the block on that left side, and Spiller takes it for 13.
So you're saying the Bills got the Patriots right where they want them, do you?
I guess so.
I think they like giving the ball to number 28. Just so quick to the outside and decisive with his cuts and looking to go north and south at the end of runs.
He's also averaging 3.24 yards after contact. That's #1 in the NFL as well. Jackson is in for Spiller. And once again, they're in the red zone. This time it's Jackson. Up the middle, Jackson spin move. Fred Jackson takes it all the way. Touchdown, Buffalo. 14 yards in the second effort by Jackson.
And give a lot of credit to the rookie, Cordy Glenn, left tackle here, as he is going to lead the way for Jackson off this left side. But Jackson keeps his legs going as he sees the cutback there. Hightower goes low, can't make the tackle. The straight arm on McCourty, and a Bills touchdown. Great effort again by Fred Jackson.
Point after, Ryan Lindell. Second rushing touchdown of the season for Jackson. And this two-pronged running attack for Buffalo is working. Spiller on the previous play, and then Jackson takes it all the way. 17-10. Six plays, 80 yards. It took just over 3 minutes for the Buffalo Bills. Jackson, the 14-yard touchdown to cut the New England lead to 7. And the Bills will kick it off. Buffalo enters action at 3-5, having dropped 4 of their last 5. 12 straight years without a playoff berth for this Buffalo team. Meanwhile, Bill Belichick's team, 11 straight winning seasons. And Belichick is now 8th on the NFL's all-time wins list, 4 behind Dan Reeves. McCourty and Vereen, the deep man. McCourty's going to take it out 2 yards deep. And McCourty runs into a wall short of the 20-yard line.
Good double team block here by Cordy Glenn and Andre Levitre, and then the kick out block by the tight end Scott Chandler. And vision by Jackson, seeing the hole on the backside of the offensive line. Great effort by Jackson for that 14-yard touchdown. Been an impressive first half, and you talked about the two-prong running attack of Buffalo. Both Jackson and Spiller getting it done on that drive.
New England came in ranked 7th in the NFL against the run, giving up 89 yards per game. They've given up 81 so far today. Brady throws it away. Owamanawui was the intended receiver. Number 47.
Fred Jackson with 6 carries, 37 yards, and a pair of catches. Remember that 3rd down and 15 where he converted on a screen pass. Got 15 yards. That led to a field goal. And now he's put the ball in the end zone for Buffalo's 10 points.
2nd and 10 now for New England. Shotgun, Brady. And throws it in the direction of Ridley, and Kyle Williams with a lick. Tom Brady dealing with pressure.
Kyle Williams just did a great job of overpowering Dan Conley, number 63. And then dropping the all-pro quarterback, Tom Brady. Brady misses last 2 pass attempts.
Brady in the first meeting, 22 of 36, 340 yards, 3 touchdowns. Brady has been limited to 9 of 15 today, 101 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. 3rd and 10. Delayed rush. Brady unloads up in the air. Incomplete. Edelman in a matchup with Leotis McKelvin.
Yeah, but they're going to get Jarris Byrd for pass interference on Gronkowski.
Pass interference. Number 31 defense. First down, spot of the foul.
And that's an interesting call because the ball wasn't thrown in the area of Gronkowski. If anything, that's an illegal contact call against Byrd and not pass interference. That's a 17-yard penalty, whereas it should have been just a 5-yard penalty. 87 is, that's Byrd holding Gronkowski down the field, but the ball intended for Edelman.
8 penalties for 67 yards. Ridley bouncing off of contact, and then Buffalo recovers with Mario Williams. They read that well. They limited Ridley to a 1-yard gain.
Boy, the penalties just continue to mount up against the Bills here in the first half. 8 penalties so far for 67 yards. That's the first one called against the Bills defense. And it was a big one because it was on 3rd down.
2nd and 9. Bradley on a dump off. Shane Vereen running hard. Vereen. First down with a flag thrown. Vereen avoids tackles and turns it into a solid gainer.
Personal foul, face mask. Number 27 defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
And it's Stephon Gilmore called on the face mask.
Yeah, right at the end of the play, Stephon Gilmore is going to reach out, watch his right hand there, grab the face mask of Vereen. Right in plain sight, easy call.
And another penalty against this Buffalo team. They trail New England 17-10.
And it looked like the Bills had some momentum on defense. The first 2 plays of the series were incomplete passes, including a big hit by Kyle Williams on Tom Brady. But again, the Bills, their own worst enemy so far today with the penalties.
So they move the chains inside the 40-yard line. Pretty fake. Brady looks. Brady fires. Deep ball. Incomplete. And a flag throw. Gilmore there defensively in the back of the end zone. Brandon Lloyd was trying to free himself.
Now there's a question, was this ball catchable? And that's what the officials are having this discussion. George Wilson in there pleading his case.
Pass interference, number 27 defense in the end zone. Ball will be spotted at the 1, first down.
Little hand fighting in the back of the end zone, Gilmore and Brandon Lloyd. And the call will go against the rookie Gilmore. But again, where's this ball land? Not even in the field of play. 37-yard gift there. That's the 2nd time they've had a pass interference penalty in the end zone.
Extra offensive lineman, jumbo formation here. Give it to Ridley. And Ridley is dropped. Nice play by Alex Carrington. Carrington in his 3rd year out of Arkansas State. It'll be 2nd and goal now for the Pats.
You hear that cliche about a team shooting themselves in the foot. Well, the Bills are already up to their kneecaps. 10 penalties, 119 yards in penalties here in the first half.
Second and goal. Brady looking to throw. A floater. Gronkowski. He's got it. Touchdown, Patriots. The symmetry. Brady to Gronkowski. And Gronkowski goes for a rather standard spike.
Yeah, he was struggling and stumbling to get out of his route here. Watch him working against the defensive end there, Kyle Moore, losing his balance, keeping his eye on the ball, making a sensational catch in the corner of the end zone. You just don't see tight ends diving for balls like that. Reminds me of Ozzie Newsome, the great Hall of Famer for the Cleveland Browns, making a catch like that.
So Gronkowski, who busted out the Buckingham Palace guard dance 2 weeks ago in London.
It's a beef eater, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind one right now.
You hungry? Halftime's not far away.
I'm more thirsty.
6 plays, 82 yards, 69 penalty yards against Buffalo. 24-10, New England puts some space in between themselves and the Bills. Another touchdown for Gronkowski. '41st consecutive game with a touchdown pass. That's the 3rd longest streak in NFL history. Drew Brees has extended his streak. The all-time record holder. Gostowski kicks it off. And over the head of Leotis McKelvin. Back to the 20-yard line. That's where Buffalo has grown accustomed to starting. Well, Gronkowski, colorful character. And we'll be creative. That was a whoops. This one between the legs. And that was the London version.
I think that's my favorite.
Oh, this one? That's not your favorite?
No. I think he's trying to actually knock the air out of the ball. And I think he may succeed at some point.
Well, gyrating, I don't think, helps in that department, but I understand what you mean with the spike. He does crush the ball into the ground. Fitzpatrick on a give. This time they're ready for Jackson, and they hold him to no gain on the play.
Ryan Fitzpatrick is having a pretty good afternoon so far. 8 out of 9 for 95 yards. He's hit 6 different receivers, and he's hit his last 7 in a row.
Well, he did fumble in the first quarter. That did lead to New England's first touchdown of the day. And a 24-10 advantage for the Patriots. 2nd and 10. Fitzpatrick from the gun. They handle the rush. Fitzpatrick on the out route. Here's the curl by Johnson. And gets out of bounds. Johnson, a thigh injury last week as he took a knee to the thigh and was not wearing those pads on his thighs last week against Houston.
And next year that will be mandatory for all players to wear thigh pads and knee pads. And all you have to do is have a Charlie horse, as Johnson did last week with that thigh bruise against Houston.
We did ask him, "You're going to wear the thigh pads today?" Go, "Oh yeah."
Oh yeah.
Double order. On first down now for Buffalo. Under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Back to the ground game. Jackson trying to fight through it. And Rob Ninkovich was the first man to slow him down, and that allowed the Patriots to get to Fred Jackson. 2-yard gain. Last week against Houston, it was an inadvertent knee by Glover Quinn late in the first quarter. Johnson hobbled off the field. It was a thigh bruise. He did return to the game, but did not have another catch the rest of the day.
You can see he has no thigh pads or knee pads on there. And now just a little bit of a pad there. You can see those white pants.
On a 2nd and 8 now. Down to 2:03 left. They're going to get a play in before the 2-minute warning. Fitzpatrick. Drop ball, Donald Jones. Incomplete. They'll face a 3rd down and long when we come back with 1:57 to play. First half in Foxborough. 3rd and 8 for Buffalo. 1:57 to go in this first half. They trail New England 24-10. Jackson in the backfield. Fitzpatrick from the gun in a 4-receiver set. Fitzpatrick throws it. Threads the needle to Chandler, and a first down out to midfield.
Another big catch for Chandler over the middle. 3rd catch of the first half for Chandler. They go right to the line of scrimmage. Big hit by Steve Gregory.
And again, spread formation here for Fitzpatrick. 1.5 minutes remaining. Buffalo has 2 timeouts to work with. Fitzpatrick, open man, and it is Jackson. Shedding tacklers. Jackson is cut down just before the first down yardage. 9-yard gain.
Looked like Jean-Claude Keeley going through the slalom gates that time, making Pats miss.
Love when you make old skiing references.
Oh, it is almost winter.
2nd and 1. Out of the pocket, Fitzpatrick. And he'll run for the first down. Fitzpatrick had his legs taken out from under him.
Yeah, that'll get a flag. He was well out of bounds. Great move by Fitzpatrick to get around Gerard Mayo.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 37 of the defense, hitting the quarterback out of bounds.
So it is
15-yard penalty, first down.
the rookie Dennard picks it up.
Yeah, that's an easy call for the officials. Fitzpatrick clearly going out of bounds, but it was the move before that on Mayo that gave Fitzpatrick the first down, and courtesy of Dennard, ball now be placed at the 21.
Brad Smith is in. 54 seconds to go now.
And 2 timeouts for the Bills, so they've got a lot of options here to get 7 points on the board before halftime.
Empty backfield on a 1st and 10. Just short of the 21. Play clock is down to 2. Fitzpatrick sets, throws, sideline, end zone, incomplete. Stevie Johnson in a matchup with Dennard. Ryan Fitzpatrick has now gone over 10,000 yards as a member of the Buffalo Bills. Joining this select group, Kelly, Ferguson, Kemp, and Bledsoe.
Joe Ferguson, drafted in 1973, along with Burt Jones, Ron Jaworski, and a few others.
Yeah, who else? Some bearded guy out of Oregon.
The greatest quarterback draft class of all time.
Really?
According to me.
2nd and 10. Fitzpatrick slings it. It's caught inside the 5 by Jones. Down to 40 seconds left. McCourty there for New England. It's an 18-yard hookup. And a timeout called.
Now, Fitzpatrick just having a fabulous afternoon. Now he's 12 of 15 for 150 here in the first half. And he's finding areas down the field over the middle. That's exactly where Jones goes in front of the safeties. McCourty, of course, is a converted cornerback. And Fitzpatrick told us yesterday that is obviously a very difficult transition for any player. You can see McCourty making the solid tackle there, but not until Jones has the ball inside the 5.
Well, they call a timeout. You know, there are two schools of thought here. Obviously, Buffalo's looking for the touchdown more than anything else, but you do have to be concerned about giving New England too much time to work with, and 3 timeouts at the end of the first half.
Yeah, but that's negative thinking if you're an offense. The offense, you want to keep the pressure on the defense, get the ball in the end zone any way you can at any time.
I think Buffalo needed to organize itself.
Yep, absolutely.
After that catch inside the 5. This is 1st and goal now. Jackson in the backfield. Fake the handoff. Fitzpatrick. Pump. Fitzpatrick throws back in the end zone. Stevie Johnson, and it's ruled incomplete.
Johnson may have come down inbounds, but give Dennard a lot of credit for pushing Stevie Johnson out of the back of the end zone.
There was a little bit of a juggle. Just 1 foot.
Thanks to Dennard. Great play by Dennard.
10th play of the drive. 36 seconds to go in this first half. New England up by 14 on Buffalo. Fitzpatrick. Guns. Caught. Touchdown. Scott Chandler. Buffalo climbs back into it. 31 seconds to play in this first half.
4 catches, 57 yards for Chandler. His 5th touchdown of the season from Ryan Fitzpatrick. And a great answer to the Patriots touchdown pass to Gronkowski.
And the Patriots have had trouble defending Scott Chandler this season, his 3rd against the Pats. 11 plays, 80 yards, the extra point from Lindell. And it's a 7-point game with 31 seconds to go in the second quarter.
Now the Patriots having all kinds of trouble finding the tight end here. Watch Chandler just come down, and he's going to be totally left free here by the Patriots. Gets in behind Hightower. Hightower's looking around. He is expecting some type of help. Watch the bobble here by Chandler as he hangs with it and makes his quarterback extremely happy.
Well, they are 28th against the pass, and Buffalo is taking advantage of it. Ryan Fitzpatrick, there's been a lot of frustration for this Bills team. They thought that they would be a legitimate player in the AFC East, and they're 2 games behind New England, but a win today, and they're 1 game behind the Patriots.
Yeah, that's the whole story in the AFC this entire season. Sure, you've got the Houston Texans at 7-1. They've got a tough game coming up against the Chicago Bears, but this whole conference is so wide open, and that to some ugly word parody comes into play. Other people kind of like that word.
You know, New England's secondary has been shaky this season, and you know, people questioned a bit when they acquired cornerback Aqib Talib from Tampa Bay. Gave up a 4th-round pick for him, but they need help. He's serving the final game of his suspension, so Talib will be a part of the Patriots beginning next week, and who knows what the future holds for Talib in a Pats uniform. So there's Houston, 7-1. Very good chance they're going to have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Baltimore at 6-2. New England leads the AFC East at 5-3, and Denver at 5-3. Indianapolis, what a story. Andrew Luck, the poise and maturity in his first year in the NFL. Double tight end set. Timing route to Lloyd, unable to haul it in with Gilmore there defensively.
And you see Gilmore, after the ball's on the ground, he looks around. And you know what he's looking around for?
Flag.
Yellow laundry, you bet.
Well, that's life as a corner to begin with in the NFL.
Yeah.
Take it a step further. Life as a corner, when you're a rookie, you always think it's going to be your fault. You're getting picked on.
A lot of balls in your direction, that's for sure.
10 penalties, 119 penalty yards against the Buffalo Bills. Brady, dump off over the middle. Danny Woodhead out across the 25-yard line. Nick Barnett with the tackle.
And you know what that touchdown did to this crowd?
Yeah.
It's almost as if they're not here.
And New England is not going to be aggressive here. They're just going to walk off the field at halftime. This is not the Patriots' way. All the energy has been sucked out of Gillette Stadium at the end of this first half. 24-17 Patriots at the break.
Thursday Night Football live on ESPN America. Wild card rivals clash in the AFC as Reggie Bush and the Dolphins take their ground assault into New York to battle Fitzpatrick and the Buffalo Bills. Dolphins at Bills. Thursday at 0200 CET, live on ESPN America.
It's a great environment to play in right here.
Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, and Tim Duncan. That's been the backbone of that team for a lot of years.
A lob to Duncan at the rim. Another reverse up and in for Tony Parker. Into the lane to lay it in. Off to Duncan, lays it in off the glass. Great show and go. Oh!
The NCAA is a place where stars are born. A chance to catch the legends of tomorrow, today. And with ESPN America's complete coverage from the regular season through to March Madness and the Final Four, you won't need to wait long for the next big thing. College basketball all season long on ESPN America.
Just about ready for third quarter action here in Foxborough. 24-17, New England leading the Buffalo Bills.